Miletus is regarded to be the first Western philosopher, mathematician, one of the seven sages of ancient Greece, and was so called the father of science. He lived in Miletus, which is one of the Greek colony of the west coast, which is now known today as the present-day Turkey. He was born in the year 620 BCE and died in the year 546 BCE because of dehydration. He is the founder of the school of natural philosophy, or the Milesian school, which Anaximander, his student, and Anaximenes, Anaximander's student, studied. And he was interested in almost everything, investigating almost all areas of knowledge, philosophy, history, science, mathematics, engineering, geography, and politics. He proposed many theories to explain many of the events of nature, the primary substance, the support of the earth, and the cause of change. And among his many achievements are his prediction of solar eclipse which happened on May 28, his discovery of Ursa Minor, studied electricity, developed geometry, contributed to the practical application of mathematics that later developed by Euclid, and the first known person in ancient Greece to use natural explanation for natural phenomena rather than turning to supernatural world. And Thales too invented tools of measurement and solved the military problems during the war with Prussia. Thales was also known for his innovative use of geometry. His understanding was theoretical as well as practical, as he said, "Megiston topos apanta garchore," or the greatest is space, for it holds all things. Thales is also known for his theorem that are the Thales theorem and the intercept theorem, which talk about angles. And some say that Thales was the first to demonstrate that the circle is bisected by the diameter, the cause of the bisection being the unimpeded passage of the straight line through the center. Now next, let us discuss the possible travels of Thales. Eudemus was one of Aristotle's students, believed that Thales had traveled to Egypt. A number of ancient sources supported the opinion, including Pampilla, who held that he spent time with the Egyptian priest. Hieronymus, from whose report we learned that Thales measured the height of the pyramids by the shadow they cast. Thales gave an explanation for the inundation. He may have devised this explanation after witnessing the phenomena, which Herodotus later described. And according to Herodotus, Thales is one of the great teachers who visited Croesus in Lydian capital Sardis. From Sardis, he could have joined a caravan to make a 3-month journey along the well-used royal road to visit the observatories in Babylonian and seek the astronomical knowledge which they had accumulated over centuries of observation of heavenly phenomena. In about 547 BCE, later in his life, Thales traveled into Cappadocia with Croesus, and according to some belief, devised a scheme by which the army of Croesus was able to cross the river Halys. Milesian merchantmen continually piled to the Black Sea, and gaining a passage could have been easily arranged. From any number of ports Thales could have sought information, and from Sinope may have ventured on the long journey to Babylonian, perhaps traveling along the valley of Tigris, as Xenophon did in 401-399 BCE. In a letter purported to be from Thales to Pherecydes, Thales stated that he and Solon had both visited Crete and Egypt to confer with the priests and astronomers. All that should be gleaned from such report is that travel was not exceptional, with many reports affirming the visits of many notable people to foreign lands. Alcaeus visited Egypt, and his brother Antimenides served in Judea in the army of the Babylonian monarch, King Nebuchadrezzar. Sappho went into exile in Sicily. Her brother Charasus spent some time in Egypt, and a number of friends of Sappho visited Sardis, where they live in Lydian society. There must have been any number of people who visited foreign lands about whom we know nothing. And very little about the travels of Thales may be stated with certainty, but it seems probable that he would have sought information from any sources of knowledge and wisdom, particularly the centers of learning in the Near East. It is accepted that there was ample opportunity for travel. Now let us proceed to his known question which started the golden age of philosophy, which is what is the basic stuff of the universe, which according to him, he believed that it is water. Why? Because according to him, water is the material cause of all things, and he concluded it by contemplating that the nourishment of all things is moist, and that even the hot is created from the wet and lives by it. And this is from seeing moist substance turn into air, and most likely that Thales viewed the earth as solidifying from the water on which it floated and the ocean that surrounds it. And the adding factor to that is that Thales thought that the earth must be a flat disk which is floating in an expanse of water. Thus this made him think that the water is what the basic stuff of the universe. That is all for the great philosopher Thales and his achievements and contribution to philosophy. I hope you learned something. Thank you for listening. Bye!